Alrighty, legends. Welcome back to the latest video in our Mission Possible series and the video mini series inside of the Mission Possible series of FIRE, Financial Independence and Retire Early. This one was really another requested one due to the fact of everything that's been going on in the financial sector all over the planet. Now, hopefully you have watched, this is the assets, classes, and resources. So hopefully you already watched the World Crypto News in case you didn't know, number 1 and number 2, because that was the precursor for the creation of this FIRE series. And no, that's why it wasn't included in the regular Mission Impossible. This one had to come under FIRE video series due to the fact of the nature of the video. Let's engage. Stop rambling. Okay, so what we're going to cover are the assets, paper, commodities, gold, silver, palladium, copper, whatever, nickel, whatever you want to use as commodity. Businesses, crypto, real estate, very important to me. You know, I've been saying this for the longest with this health and knowledge. They're at the bottom of the list here, but believe me, they technically should be at number 1. And then at the end, I got a question for you. So ponder this while we're going through the video of the presentation. Is the house you live in an asset or is it a liability? We'll engage at the end. Okay, so what we're going to cover. Paper assets. These include stocks, bonds, mutual funds, retirement accounts, which are your 401ks, IRAs, and all that kind of things, including real estate investment trust or REITs, ETFs. These are the easiest to get in and out of. So when you have your retirement account, you can't just go in and out when you choose without paying certain penalties. Of course, there's always loopholes and ways around it, legal, that is. So always check with your CPA or your financial advisor. Commodities, which include, like I said, any kind of the metals, gold, silver, copper. Then, okay, now the commodities also include food, grains, corn, coffee, sugar, and so on, and raw materials, oil, gas, cotton, Then you have your businesses. Now, there are 2 routes you can take. You can invest in your own business or invest in someone else's business or company. Of course, the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, the blue chips, and then there's, of course, the altcoins. Then there's real estate. You can invest for cash flow from the rental properties, capital gains from flipping and wholesaling. And then we're going to talk about the smidgen of the merge between crypto and real estate. Then, of course, at the last one there in yellow or gold is how to utilize other people's money and other people's time. Because time, as we all know, and you've heard me say numerous times, is the most precious asset or commodity on the planet. None of this other crap up here matters if you don't have the time. You could get $1 gazillion today, pass away tomorrow because you didn't have enough time. Let me continue. All right. Paper assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Now, I'm not recommending any particular company. I'm just saying that this is how you can get in there. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not offering any kind of financial advice. Now, granted, I do use TD Ameritrade for me and my kids' accounts and my wife as well. We use Stockpile. Oh, my goodness. There's so many different companies out here. I used to do buyandhold.com. Then they closed down because they were one of the first ones that weren't expensive and you could reinvest your dividends. But there's TD Ameritrade, there's Webull, there's Robinhood, there's Moomoo, there's E-Trade. You go out, research whichever company you want to use, and go for it. Get in where you fit in. But my mantra is always, it's my money, and nobody's going to look at the money and care for it the way that I will. Because believe me, I have a vested interest more than a stockbroker, and that's why they call it broker. So that's for if you want to open up stocks, bonds, or mutual funds right there. I mean, you can even go safe. I don't know right now. You can get municipal bonds. You can get the regular savings bonds, the double E bonds, the I bonds. There's so many different avenues when it comes to the paper. Then the commodities. Now, we have cotton, oil, gas, and wheat. It's been, I'm not going to show my age. It's been a long time. And me and one of my co-workers, when I was active duty, invested in some sugar. that was the only time I ever did it. But here's a list of just a few of the different apps or sites you can use: Interactive Brokers, Ninja Trader, Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade, which was here as well. See, so some of the combinations: TradeStation, which is the one here, and Lightspeed, which if you, like I say, if this is where you want to dibble and dab, go for it. Maybe just your forte. And he's talking about oranges. Jeez. Now this one is dear to my heart because I'll get to it in a second. Gold, silver, copper, palladium, whatever type of metal you want to get. Gainesville Coins out of Florida. They are a great company. Like I said, there's so many different ones out there, but you just want to be safe and make sure that you're getting what you're supposed to get, because you don't want to be spending your hard-earned money and you never receive your gold. Now, there's some companies out there that even let you store it there instead of you having it at home, or you definitely don't want to put it in the bank because you go to the bank and the bank closed up or something, then whatever you had in your safety deposit box, you don't have access to. So if there's other places you can store it, wherever you want to store it, do whatever you need to do, but always play safe. And here, I wanted to point out with Gainesville Coins here, they accept crypto. Like it says here, we are now accepting Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, DAI, and USD coins as payment method on our website. Bam. So now you can off-ramp with Spritz, purchase you some gold and silver if this is what you choose to do. I'm not giving any or swaying you anything. I'm just saying these are different asset classes that you can diversify into. And this is the first time I've seen one of these in a long time. I saw a gold one like this, and say you had to do some bartering. You could actually say, well, hey, Mike, this is going to cost you a 1/4 ounce of silver. You can snap those into 4 little sections and trade it off the barter. Hopefully we never get to that type of scenario where we need to be bartering, but just hey, you never know. And my thing is always being prepared. Legends, we stay prepared, we stay ready. Just saying. Let's continue on. Now this SD Bullion, this is another great one. I know people that have used this one. I know people that definitely have used this one. And like I say, and again here, you can see over here, bam, I see Bitcoin. So there's many, many options out here. But like I said, make sure there's a trusted company. There's one more that I couldn't remember because I can't remember. But you can ask around with your friends and do your investigation, do your research, make sure the company's reputable. You could always go to your local pawn shop. So you can, if you want to physically get it yourself, go to the pawn shop. You can get gold and silver. You can purchase it and ask them to melt it down. I don't know about that. You got to make sure that you're standing there because they've been melted some fake stuff in there. But there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can go in there and buy gold chains in a certain amount of weight. If it's pure gold, keep your receipt and everything, and you're good to go. It's just options. Always about options. Now, this is why this was in particular great for me. I've been an avid reader of, I have every single Rich Dad Poor Dad has written, as well as every single one of his advisors. A while ago, I met Mike Maloney that wrote Rich Dad's book here, The Guide to Gold and Silver. And at that point, I was in. I was like, oh, okay. And of course, we already know that the US dollar used to be on the gold, was actually backed by gold until 71 when Nixon took us off the gold standard. I'm not going to go into that. If you don't know, hot damn it, like I said, you need to increase your knowledge. But Mike did a video series called The Hidden Secrets of Money. It is an eye-opening series. Like I say, legends, there's just so much information out here that people are not aware of. Well, I'm not going to even say that aware of, because some people will know about it and just continue to want to keep the blinders on. Anyhow, I read the book. Whew, man, back in 2000, 8. Man, it's been a long time. And at that point, I understood how everything worked. And the disadvantage the American dollar was, the US dollar was put into once it was removed and just became a piece of paper. And anyhow, and since. So if you haven't read that book, please read the book and definitely check out the video series. Now, businesses, the other asset class. You can create a brand new business, which I said I show here. You can get a franchise. You get an existing business. It can be a mom and pop. Matter of fact, the gas station across the street from me went from Shell to DK. It looked like a big Donkey Kong logo. I think it's DLEC or something like that. And you can purchase a gas station. There's so many different businesses that you can purchase and add that to your assets. So I use Franchise Direct. You can see over here, number one was Chick-fil-A. They're number one, but buying a Chick-fil-A, you're not really an entrepreneur. All you're doing is becoming a new worker because you have to physically be in the restaurant. Chick-fil-A's, no, I'm not going to get into it. Anyhow, so this is if you want to create a brand new business. A franchise is a great way because you already have a proven track record. The system is already created. Like if you say, I'm going to open a McDonald's, McDonald's has already created the franchise handbook. You can get a shake in any part of the world. It's going to taste the same. You can get a hamburger in any part of the world. It's going to taste the same. You can get McDonald's French fries. It's going to taste the same. They have a system. Okay, now, that's why I had to put the L7 crypto there, because to me, these are the most important assets. Health and time, the number ones. You want to be in the best health possible. And instead of getting you pay your insurance once a year, but forget that. You need to get a checkup. For all the money that we pay, well, I don't pay because I'm retired Air Force, but whatever, get a checkup quarterly. Because the last thing you want to do is go get a checkup in January. Then in March, you develop some kind of disease. And then it has 9 months that you wait until the next March to go get your annual checkup. It may be too late. Get a checkup every quarter. Do not wait. And I'm talking about your dentist, your eyes. I don't know why my picture there is supposed to be subdued. Your family history, all those kind of things. Everything, just get it checked. And you want to be physical, be active, be moving, eat better. Like I said, you want to be around to enjoy your other assets. What the hell is the use of getting all the other assets if you're not even going to be, you're unhealthy to enjoy it? What good is it? And then time. Use your time wisely because you only got a limited quantity. You allotted a certain amount of time, once you're born, that your clock starts. And it's limited quantity, so use it for quality. And the second one, increasing your knowledge and reducing your risk. Your time, your health, and your knowledge. They are so critical. There's so many ways to increase your knowledge. And these are the type of assets because your brain is the biggest computer. Skip the AI and the chat GTP crap. Your brain, please. You can use social media. There's YouTube University, as they call it, Udemy, whatever for your favorite college. And you can get MIT free online courses, Harvard online courses, and whatever university courses. There's professional newsletters, there's podcasts, there's seminars, there's mentorships. Me and my wife have been in numerous mentorships. When I was doing the business funding, I came to that conclusion to do that through a mentorship. My wife does real estate through a mentorship. Well, that's where she started. So believe me, if somebody's done what you want to do, hey, that's the short route. You can take the long route and start at ground zero, but why would you start at ground zero when you can find this person, make sure that they're reputable, and cut all that middle time out and all that extra money and just get the information you need? You can do it by teaching others. Of course, there's Audible, or if you like to read the book, I can do Audible. I like Audible because I can do it while I'm at the gym. And then you also need to have the ability to ask the right questions. If you're ever say you're at an event and the person is there and you get the opportunity to get close to that person and ask the question, don't be asking no dumb questions like, well, how are you doing today? No, you want to ask some question. Well, if you had this scenario and this scenario, what would you do? Those are the kind of questions that you want to be asking the right questions. And now here, I'm old school. That's my rap. If you know who KRS-One is from Boogie Down Productions, and his name has the best meaning ever. I don't give a damn what genre of music you want to pertain to or entertainment, but this is it. His name is KRS-One because knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. And once you get that knowledge, you have it in the brain. Nobody can take it away, and you pass it on to your family members and pass it down your legacy. Okay. Now, the crypto, of course, we're already in the crypto. We know the difference between the coins and the tokens, the different crypto tokens, the value of the tokens. We know the utility tokens, security tokens, ERC20 tokens, all coins, stable coins, meme coins. We've seen with the Doge coins and the Shiba Inu. There's so many, and the new Pepe coin that just came out. So do what you need to do. However you want to do it, you can invest in them. However you want to do it. I'm just saying, this is just another asset class, and we're already in there. And the fact that we're in DeFi together, so you're good to go. Real estate. Now, technically, real estate, the REITs were back on the paper asset because it does come under stock. But like AGNC or O Realty is another great one. That's my favorite REIT. Now, so you have your commercial real estate. I put this one up here, loopnet.com. If you've never heard of loopnet.com, like I say, then you're just not in the know. When I was taking my real estate course, this was what we would use when we had to do our essays or whatever, our scenarios of purchasing an apartment building. So you can go in there in any part of the country and find anything from storage units to vacant land, anything commercial property. Then you have AGNC or O Property, which are the real estate investment trusts, because you're investing on paper. However, you're getting some hellacious dividends. Then you have the merger, like Brick by Brick Crypto, where you're combining real estate and crypto together into one. So, and you can get in here with a whole lot less output of money, time, and everything else than could get into commercial real estate. Because here you got to have, of course, you got to talk to your tenants and all that kind of stuff. Then you need to know about triple net, because when we had our franchise in Arizona, man, we paid triple net. I didn't understand it as well as I do now. And believe me, we paid for everything. We paid for the maintenance of the parking lot, the trash, the water, everything. But I didn't know. I just knew it was triple net and it was expensive. Then, like I say, you have the REITs, which are the stocks. So you can purchase this stock and you get your monthly dividends, because this one does pay monthly. O Realty pays monthly as well. And so does Brick by Brick Crypto. And you don't have the headache of being a landlord or having to deal with a property manager or your tenant, or stopped up toilet at 2:00 in the morning, or destruction of your house. All those crazy. My wife is fighting with our house here in Texas because the property taxes went up like an extra $1,500. It's just crazy. So so the thing is options. My legends, is options. You have so many different options. All right, let's continue on before I keep rambling. Then you have some alternatives. It's always about options. You can invest in art, valuable collectibles, ETFs. Now, when it comes to valuable collectibles, diamonds is another thing too. Now, I do know that the diamonds I personally wouldn't do it due to the fact that we know that there's companies out here that have a bunch of diamonds and only let a certain amount on the market to make it seem like there's a shortage. I'm not going to say any more. So, but there's other valuable collectibles out there. You can do the vases, the Fabergé eggs, and things like that. Then, of course, you got the ETFs that they have out there that you can hedge. You can bet against the US dollar. There's natural resources out there. There's infrastructure. There's venture capital investments, private equity investment, private credit investments. But when you're talking to these alternatives, please, please, please be sure to increase your knowledge to reduce your risk. Learn as much as you can about it. Now, don't get analysis paralysis, but do as much investigation as you need to be comfortable and just get in where you fit in. Even if you need to start with $10, I damn start with $10. Whatever. Like I said, I don't give no financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Now, when you're getting your assets, the goal is to go from the active side to the passive side. Now, I don't give a damn if you're a doctor or whatever the hell you do. If you're on S, you're on the active side. You're self-employed. You are still an employee. You are not an entrepreneur. If you open up, we're going to get into it in a second, but if you, you have to understand the goal is to get to the right side of the quadrant, to be the business owner with the system or be an investor. Like I said, you can say, hey, well, L7, I want to invest in your L7 crypto YouTube channel, example. Okay, well, I need you to give me $100,000, $10,000 up front, and I'm going to pay you $500 a month forever, as long as you're an investor. That's investing in my company. But they're using my time, because that's investing in other people's time. So this is where on the right side of the quadrant, where you get to use other people's time and other people's money. And we know here, the goal is to go from E and S to the right side of the quadrant, wherever you want to be here. The ultimate is the investor, because you're using 100% of other people's time and other people's money. Like I said, if you were investing in my YouTube channel, you don't have to do nothing. You put your money in, and then that's it. And then to have other people's money, you could take a loan of that $10,000, give it to me, which is other people's money, and then out of that $500 a month that I'm returning to you, you could pay $250 back until you pay it off. So you're using my time and the bank's money. Let's continue on, because I'll be rambling all day. I love talking about that. Now, is your house you live in an asset or a liability? I know you've heard some of these mentors or whatever talk about, well, I will never own a house. I'll only buy a house. I'll only rent a house. So it comes down to these four things here. Number one, if you stop paying your property taxes, would the city come take your house? If you answered yes, then hot damn, it's a liability. Number two, do you have to maintain your home? We're talking repairs, cut the grass, you stopped up toilet, or you got to fix your roof, you got leaky windows, the HVAC got issues, whatever. If you have to do repairs and everything, then it's still a liability. And if your monthly payment does not interfere with your monthly cash flow, that's just iffy. And then the last one here, does your home put money into your pocket each month? I know damn well, unless you're renting out your rooms, you got a 5-bedroom house and you're renting out 3 bedrooms, that's the only way you're going to be doing it. But if it's just you and your family in there, there's no way that that house is putting money in your pocket. Now, you can take that number 4 and flip it around. Like when we moved to Costa Rica, the house here, it was rented out for more than my note was, and we was living in Costa Rica. So I owned the house, but that house became an asset because it put money in my pocket and somebody else was paying the mortgage. Now here I listed 3 different options at the bottom. You can rent it from your own company. That's a whole nother category if you have your own business. And the assets puts money into your pocket. Liability will take money from your pocket. So your house more than likely is not an asset. If you're physically living in it, it's not an asset. You move to another state or overseas because you're done fired and somebody's renting it out, that house is an asset now. Bam, that's the difference. Just something to ponder. Now, like I was saying with the cash flow quadrant, this is something I don't want you to get twisted. And a lot of folks don't understand the difference of being an owner, or, well, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to start my own business. Is that what you really want to do? Here, if you create the business, you should not be working in it. Or I don't know if you want to say in it or for it. Well, for it. If you open an auto repair shop, you're not supposed to be one of the mechanics out there inside the engine or under the vehicle. It's not your job to wear all the hats in the business either. The number one responsibility is to build an asset. That's what an entrepreneur does. That's what I'm saying. People, the business should be able to advertise, sell, and perform your services without you. So if you have an auto mechanic shop, the only thing you should be out there doing is building the business. You should be being oversight. I bet you damn Elon Musk is not on the Tesla line. The manufacturing line. Jeff Bezos is not sitting at Amazon fulfilling when you purchase some cold cream or you bought a book. That's entrepreneur. When he bought Whole Foods, same thing. He's not working at the grocery store. He's not the grocery store manager. That's what I'm saying. That's what you call true entrepreneurship. The assets should be able to run without you. That's a true business. And Rich Dad even said that a while back in a couple of the books. If you have a true business, you should be able to walk away from that business for a year and the business should continue to run. The ultimate business is going to continue to run and grow at the same time. that's you got to understand the difference, because if you're going to go out and open up a business, all you're doing is creating another job, and you're losing more time because now you're working the job. Granted, you're working for yourself, but you're still trading time for money. And the goal is you always want to be claiming your time back, and the goal is not to create another job. Just because you're working for Mr. Johnson and you say, well, I'm going to go work for L7 and work for myself, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm working 15 hours a day instead of 8. Just because you're working for yourself, that's not. It's you have to step back and look at the big picture here. You want to own it or control it, and not so much be in it. Like I said, I should not be, if I'm a mechanic, I should not be up under the cars if I own L7 gas station or mechanic shop, repair shop. That's not how it's done. And entrepreneurs make that big mistake. Let me continue. So the out brief, we talked about the assets. Now this is the right order. Your health, time, and knowledge are at the forefront. Those are the most important assets that you can control per se. I mean, granted, if you have a hereditary disease that's from the family, you do what your best to mitigate it and to survive it. But your health, your knowledge, and time, those are your 3 most precious assets. Then, of course, the paper, the commodities, and the business, and the crypto and the real estate, because all them other ones at the bottom don't mean a damn thing if you're not in the health to enjoy it. What's the use of having $1 gazillion, but you can't even go enjoy it? You can't travel because you're in a wheelchair with the oxygen tank because you're smoking or something. Whatever reason is, it's just you want to be in the best health that you can. Increasing the knowledge and reducing your risk. And like I said, time, the most precious commodity asset on the planet. Because I don't give a damn if you take all the money that Elon Musk got, all the money that Jeff Bezos got, and all the money that Warren Buffett got. Neither one of the 3 of them could buy 1 more second of time on this planet. When Elon's, Bezos, or Warren's time is up, it's up. End of discussion. I don't care how much money they got. And as always, this is for informational and educational purposes only, never intended as any type of financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here just providing some entertainment and wanted to ensure that my legends understood all the different types of assets that they have at their disposal to invest in, because as a legend, it's all about options. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And to all of my legends, engage. You got 7 seconds.